In this video, I'm going to be walking you guys through a training program I created with the priority being chest development. Chest growth will be prioritized in this program by training it more than other muscle groups, as you'll be doing around 20 sets a week depending on the split that you choose. You can think of your other muscle groups entering maybe a maintenance phase or possibly even a deload compared to what you were doing before for these muscles, as they will receive around 10 sets plus or minus like 5 maybe, which might seem relatively low, but it is still plenty enough volume to maintain the muscle that you have. So let's get into the exercises that are responsible for achieving your future barrel-chested self. Starting off with two exercises that are going to use the term press arounds, and these exercises come from N1 Education, and these guys are where I've received the majority of my knowledge on training and exercise selection and execution. These press arounds are no joke, as you'll be setting them up to train both your lower and upper divisions of your pecs. For the decline press rounds, where you'll be going after your lower pec, you'll need at least one cable, but like a functional trainer that I'm using in this video with dual arms, these will go very well with these press rounds, but you can get by with just one cable as well. When selecting the cable height for the decline press rounds, you want the cable to be as close to in line with your lower pec fibers as you can, and I'll demonstrate it on this video. If you are limited on to where you can put the cable, know that changing your torso position, whether you are lean forward or lean back, that can greatly impact the alignment, so you can use that to align yourself better. The other thing to look for is the line between the cable and your forearm. It does not have to be exact by any means, but you want the cable in your forearm to stay relatively close to in line throughout the entire rep. Lastly, do not neglect the around aspect of these press rounds. As you are performing these, you want to bring your arm across your body, and the pec contraction you'll get from this slight change will speak for itself. Moving on to the incline press rounds, which are quite similar, you again want to line up the cable with the division of the chest that we're trying to train. So it'll be the cable in line with more of those upper chest fibers. And you again want to keep it relatively close to the same line of this cable and your forearm. Again, do not neglect the around aspect for either the decline or the incline press rounds, or else you're going to be depriving yourself of a gnarly chest contraction. Now onto more typical exercises that you've likely done before, and such as the chest fly, which is a standard for most people's chest days. The biggest mistake I see people make execution-wise is having poor posture with the shoulders roll forward, which inevitably will bring more front delts into play and might be why you don't feel the chest in the first place. Keeping the proud chest position is important here, as well as for every other exercise you do, and you want to make sure that as you're doing the eccentric, you don't want your shoulders to start to rise up. Another traditional exercise is just any horizontal chest press. As long as you're able to press something horizontally, you will be okay. Ideally, you want to use a machine that has converging handles where your hands come together at the top, and then as you're coming to the bottom, the handles move apart. But if you only have access to a barbell, that will do just fine as well. The last exercise in your pursuit of a bigger chest, which will be a superset, is kind of a spicy one that you likely have not done before. You'll start off the superset with push-ups, and you're going to do as many as you can, but you want to make sure that you're at least getting 15. So if you cannot get 15, go on your knees or find a way to make it easier. But if you, on the other hand, are really good and you can rip out a shit ton and get like more than 30, you are going to want them to be harder. And ways you can do this is by throwing the weight on your back. You can elevate your feet up on a bench, or you can elevate your hands on something so that you can get deeper into that stretch. And then once you burn out on the push-ups, you will immediately go into a dumbbell pullover with the weight that you can perform for about 15 reps. Now let's take a look into the program itself. The program is 6 weeks long, and you have the option of following either a 3, 4, or 5-day training split. The more training days have a slightly higher volume throughout the week, but they're still all relatively similar with the same exercises and rep ranges. This allows for you to stay consistent with the plan, even if your schedule changes and you might have to cut back on a training day. But it also allows for a wider range of people to be able to follow these programs, because even though we all want a bigger chest, we all have different schedules and availabilities to train. So taking a look at day 1 of week 1, for every exercise in this program, the exercise itself will be a clickable link that will take you to a video demonstration for what the exercise should look like as you're performing them. Some of the exercises, such as these press rounds and the leg extensions, they are limited to only one piece of equipment, so we don't really have much for variations to choose from. But for other exercises, let's say like for the leg curls, you have between probably 3 options to choose for doing this, and I have them ranked from like best being the 3 stars to still effective, but not what I would consider ideal with 1 star, but whatever you have access to will be just fine. So you have these different options for variations, and then you can choose in this drop-down list which one you decided to opt for. Next to the cell, you also have this note section, and I would definitely use this to your advantage. And it's left blank, so you can put literally whatever you want to in there. Write down anything you might find useful in the following weeks, such as maybe the seat height you chose, or even like if you have the same machine but different brands, you could write down what brand of equipment you decided to use. Below each exercise, you'll also have some setup and execution cues to help you get the most out of every rep and set that you do. The rep scheme you'll be doing in this program is kind of a mashup of rep schemes that you were doing in the previous 2 programs, and how this will work for pretty much every exercise besides this push-up pullover superset. Besides that specific superset, what you're going to do is you're going to start off with a relatively lightweight and do 20 reps. So let's say on the weight stack, you were doing 100 and you got your 20 reps. Then the next set, you are going to increase the weight and do less reps. So we could say you did 120 for 15. And then again, for the third set, we'll increase the weight again. So maybe you did 140. You did 12. And then the fourth and final set is where you see this 8 and drop set, where if you are accustomed to what we were doing in the anchor arms program, it was 10 to 12 reps and drop. So when you're doing this final set, the set of 8 is going to be relatively heavy to where you can like pretty much only do 8 reps. So let's say you went much heavier and you went to like 180 and you're able to perform 8. And then once you perform the 8, it is going to be an immediate drop set into, let's say, like you almost want 50% of the weights. Let's say you could do 90 and you did it there, and say you did your 8, and then you're able to pump out 12 of these. This drop set will be much more drastic if you were doing the anchor arms program. So like we were maybe dropping the weight by 40%, 30%, but this one you want to shoot for maybe about a 50% decrease in your weight. Throughout this program, make sure that you are logging the weight you're using and as well as the reps you're performing, because when you come to that same workout again in the following week, your results are going to be saved, and this will help you progress as the weeks go by. So if we use this decline press round for day 1, week 1, and we go to week 2 of the same day 1, we can see of what you were doing for your weight and reps in the previous week, which brings me into how you're going to progress throughout the 6 weeks of this program. The form of progressive overload that we're looking to follow within this program is a simple 2-step process. For week 1, you're going to be assessing what weights to use to get you to the target reps for each set. Then come week 2, you're going to use the same weight that you did in week 1, but you're going to look to own that weight with better control and hopefully a few more reps even. Then come in week 3, you are going to increase the weight while aiming to land towards your target reps for each set. And then in week 4, we're going to use the same weight used in week 3, and then you're going to again look to own that weight. And this cycle of using a heavier weight 1 week followed by using it again, but looking to own it, will repeat itself 3 times throughout this program. So if you made it this far into the video, you are likely interested in following this program, so I'm going to show you how to download it. To follow this on your phone, you need to have the Google Sheets app downloaded onto your phone. So pause this video if you need and download the app, and then come back once you downloaded Google Sheets. Once you take the link, your screen should look like this, and it'll have this intro tab visible. This next step here is very important, and if you don't do this, you're not going to be able to enter in your own weights and the reps you're performing. And how we can do this is making your own copy and downloading it onto your phone. And I'm going to have a screen recording for what this will look like. Also, make sure to go to my website at evolutionaryaesthetics.com and subscribe to my weekly newsletter, as I'll be sending out updates about this program every Monday morning to provide additional information to help you progress throughout this program in real time. Once you're in the program, you'll have this intro tab that you're seeing right away, followed by the 3 tabs for the 3 different training splits. And then the last tab you'll see is this donate tab. This program, along with every other program I've created for you guys to follow for free, is based on value for value. And the idea here is that I create these workout programs so you guys can follow on your phone. I make this corresponding video to help you get the most out of this program with the time and effort that you are dedicating to the gym. And then I send out that weekly newsletter helping you along the way in real time. If you follow this program or any other program I've made and found it valuable, you can return that value back to me. Whether that is with a one-time donation or a monthly subscription plan that you'll be able to see on my website, you yourself get to determine the value that you've received. What this does is it lets people of all different financial situations return their value. Whether it's $5 being a broke college student, whereas maybe like $100 to someone else might just be a drop in the bucket. To donate, take the link at the top as it'll head you to my website, and then you can sign up for any of the monthly subscription play plans, and every pound donated equals $1, and once you reach the 135 pound club, or just simply 135 pounds donated, you get special access to helping me plan for future programs and tailor it towards whatever you might like to see. Whether that's with a one-time donation to get you to the 135 pound club right away, or after a few months of any of the play plans you choose, eventually you can get yourself to the 135 pound club and get your say into what you want these future programs to be. When it comes to muscle building and seeing results, the training is obviously super important, but there are other additional factors at play here that determine how quickly the results you'll see will be. These lifestyle habits are detailed in my Potent Priorities ebook, also free within the value for value format, and can be downloaded in the link below, and it's on my website. It starts with the bare essentials that every single person should be doing, but it also takes things deeper for those of you looking to optimize as you're in the pursuit of dotting out your I's and crossing out your T's. Drop this video a like if you are going to follow this program, share it with someone who you may want to do this program with, and subscribe to this channel for future videos in the pursuit of me helping you get jacked. Thanks for watching, and we'll see each other in the next one.